The screen glowed like a betrayal in the dim light of our bedroom, casting harsh shadows across my face. There it was, the photo she'd snapped at that godforsaken office party last week. Her arms slung casually around his shoulders, both of them grinning like idiots, champagne flutes raised in a mock toast. His hand rested just a touch too low on her waist, fingers splayed possessively. The caption, "Best night with the best colleague. #work buddies #living it." My stomach twisted into a knot of razor wire. I'd warned her. "If you post that photo with him, I'm out," I'd said, my voice low and trembling with the fury I'd barely contained. She'd laughed, thrown her head back and let out that musical peal that used to melt me but now felt like shards of glass. "Oh, come on, Mark. Just a picture. You're being paranoid." And then she'd hit post right in front of me, her eyes sparkling with defiance, as if daring me to follow through. I slammed my laptop shut, the click echoing like a gunshot in the silent house. My heart hammered against my ribs, each beat a surge of humiliation that burned hotter than any fire. How could she? After 10 years of marriage, building a life together, the house in the suburbs, the weekend hikes, the whispered promises in the dark. And now this. It wasn't just the photo, it was the whispers at work, the late nights she'd brushed off as project deadlines, the way she'd started dressing up more, her phone glued to her hand like a lifeline. I'd suspected for months, but denial had been my shield. Now it shattered, leaving me exposed, raw, bleeding. I paced the room, the carpet muffling my footsteps but not the roar in my head. Anger clawed up my throat, bitter and acrid, making me want to smash something, anything. The framed wedding photo on the dresser mocked me. Us on a Hawaiian beach, her in white lace, me beaming like I'd won the lottery. I grabbed it, fingers digging into the glass until it cracked under the pressure. Heartbreak followed the rage, a deep, aching void that sucked the air from my lungs. How had we gotten here? Was I not enough? Too predictable, too safe. Resentment bubbled up next, directed at her, at him. Jason, the slick sales guy from her firm, with his perfect hair and predatory smile. I'd met him once at a company barbecue, shaken his hand while he eyed her like she was a prize. But obsession crept in quietly, wrapping around my thoughts like smoke. I reopened the laptop, scrolled through the comments. Friends liking it, emojis flying, hearts, laughs, thumbs up. Did they know? Were they laughing at me too? My mind raced with fantasies. Storming into her office, dragging him out by his collar, exposing their affair to everyone. Or something subtler, colder. Hacking her accounts, posting evidence of her deceit. No, that was too rash. I needed control. Doubt whispered in my ear. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe I was overreacting. But the photo's intimacy screamed otherwise, and her laughter. That damned laughter sealed it. I sank onto the bed, the sheets still rumpled from where she'd slept beside me last night. Her body warm against mine in a lie of affection. The scent of her perfume lingered, jasmine and vanilla, twisting the knife deeper. Guilt flickered at the edges of my fury. Had I driven her away? My job as a software engineer kept me glued to screens, late nights debugging code while she craved excitement. We'd argued about it, her voice sharp. "You're always working, Mark. When's the last time we did something spontaneous?" I'd promised to change, but promises were cheap. Now, cold resolve settled in, a steel rod in my spine. She wanted to play games, I'd play too. But mine would be calculated, precise. Revenge wasn't about explosion. It was about erosion, wearing her down until she felt the same hollow ache. The next morning dawned gray and oppressive, the sky a bruised purple that mirrored my mood. Sarah breezed into the kitchen, humming as she poured coffee, her silk robe slipping off one shoulder. She looked radiant, untouched by the storm brewing inside me. "Morning, babe," she said, planting a kiss on my cheek. Her lips felt like a brand. I forced a smile, my voice steady despite the tremor in my chest. "Morning. Saw your post last night. Got a lot of likes." She paused, mug halfway to her lips, her green eyes narrowing slightly. "Yeah. You okay with it? You seemed weird about it before." "Weird?" The word ignited a spark, but I tamped it down. Slow burn, I reminded myself. It's fine. Just surprised, I guess. My words hung in the air, laced with unspoken accusation. She set the mug down, crossing her arms, the robe tightening around her curves. Mark, it's nothing. Jason's just a friend. We were celebrating closing that big deal. You're reading too much into it. Am I? I met her gaze, searching for the lie. There it was, a flicker quick as a shadow. She sighed, exasperated, running a hand through her tousled auburn hair. This again. I thought we were past your jealousy phase. It's exhausting. Exhausting. The word stung, fueling the resentment coiling in my gut. I wanted to shout, to demand the truth, but instead I nodded, playing the part of the understanding husband. You're right. Sorry. As she turned to grab her bag, I watched her, memorizing the sway of her hips, the way she moved with effortless grace. Inside, plans formed like code compiling. I'd start small, gather evidence. Her phone password, I knew it from years ago. Tonight, while she slept, I'd check her messages. Work that day was a blur of screens and keystrokes. The office hum a distant drone. My cubicle felt like a cage, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, casting everything in a sterile glow. Colleagues chatted about weekend plans, their voices grating. I nodded along, but my mind was elsewhere, replaying her laughter, envisioning Jason's smug face. During lunch, I slipped out to a coffee shop, the bitter brew scorching my tongue as I pulled up her social media on my phone. More likes, a comment from him. What a night! Can't wait for the next one. Winking face, the emoji was a punch to the solar plexus. Obsession deepened. I searched his profile, scrolling through posts of luxury cars, gym selfies, nights out. He was everything I wasn't, adventurous, charismatic, unbound. By evening, doubt warred with resolve. What if I was wrong? Ruining our marriage over paranoia. But as I drove home, rain pattering against the windshield like accusatory fingers, I spotted her car in the driveway. Early. Unusual. Suspicion flared. I parked down the street, heart pounding, and approached on foot, the wet pavement slick under my shoes. Peering through the living room window, curtains slightly parted, I saw her on the couch, phone in hand, laughing at something on the screen. Texting him. The sight fueled my fire. I slipped inside quietly, the door creaking like a warning. Hey, you're home early, I said, forcing casualness. She jumped, tucking her phone away too quickly. Oh yeah. Slow day. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. We ate dinner in tense silence, the clink of forks amplified, the pasta tasting like ash. Later in bed, she rolled toward me, her hand trailing down my chest. Make love to me, Mark. It was a plea or maybe manipulation. I hesitated, revulsion mixing with lingering desire. But I obliged, our bodies moving mechanically, her moans ringing hollow. As she drifted to sleep, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, guilt gnawing at me. Was this revenge? Using her while plotting her downfall. At 2 a.m. I crept out of bed, the floorboards cold against my bare feet. Her phone charged on the nightstand, screen dark. Password, our anniversary. It unlocked with a soft beep. Messages flooded in, innocuous at first, work chats, friends. Then Jason's thread. Missed you today. That photo got me thinking about last week. Fire, her reply. Me too. Can't stop smiling. Let's grab drinks soon. My vision blurred with tears of rage. Heartbreak crashed over me anew, but resolve hardened it into something sharper. I screenshot everything, emailed them to myself, deleted the traces. Back in bed, I watched her sleep, her face peaceful, innocent. She had no idea the storm I'd unleash. The following days blurred into a haze of feigned normalcy and secret scheming. I smiled at her jokes, cooked her favorite meals, the aroma of garlic and basil filling the kitchen, steam rising like my suppressed fury. But inwardly, fantasies evolved. Not violence, but exposure. I'd anonymously tip off her boss about the affair, Company policy frowned on fraternization. Or leak the messages to our mutual friends. Watch her social circle crumble. Moral conflict tugged at me. Was I becoming the monster? She wasn't evil, just flawed, seeking thrill in a stagnant marriage. But humiliation demanded justice. One evening, as thunder rumbled outside, rain lashing the windows, she confronted me. "You've been distant. What's going on?" We sat on the couch, the leather creaking under us, a bottle of wine half empty on the table. Her eyes searched mine, vulnerable. "Nothing," I lied, but my voice cracked. "Mark, talk to me." She reached for my hand, her touch electric, stirring unwanted guilt. Pulled away. "That photo. It's more than you said, isn't it?" She stiffened, color draining from her face. "What do you mean?" "I saw the messages." The words escaped before I could stop them, tension snapping like a taut wire. Her eyes widened, panic flashing. "You went through my phone. That's invasion of privacy. And cheating isn't betrayal." My voice rose, raw with pain. "It's not like that, Jason. He's just fun. You're always so serious, so buried in work. I needed something more." The admission hit like a freight train, resentment exploding into obsession. "Fun. After everything we've built." I stood, pacing, the room closing in, walls pulsing with my heartbeat. "I'm sorry," she whispered, tears streaking her cheeks. "I didn't mean to hurt you." But her words rang false, laced with self-preservation. As lightning illuminated her face, I saw the truth. No real remorse, just fear of consequences. Cold resolve solidified. I'd make her pay. Not with shouts, but with precision. The plan crystallized. I'd destroy her career, her reputation, starting tomorrow. Dawn broke with a deceptive calm, sunlight filtering through the blinds in golden slats, mocking the darkness in my soul. Sarah had cried herself to sleep on the couch, her form curled like a question mark. I watched her from the doorway, coffee steaming in my hand, the bitter aroma grounding me. Heartbreak lingered, a dull throb, but resentment had morphed into something colder, a calculated drive for vengeance. I'd spent the night outlining steps on my laptop, anonymous email accounts, forged headers, compiled evidence. No rash moves, this would be surgical. At work, the office buzzed with oblivious energy, keyboards clacking, phones ringing, the scent of stale coffee permeating the air. I secluded myself in a conference room, glass walls fogged with my breath, and drafted the first email to her HR department. Concerned colleague as the sender. Attachments. Screenshots of flirty texts, the photo, timestamps overlapping work hours. Fraternization leading to favoritism. I typed, fingers flying. Doubt nagged. Was this justified? She wasn't a villain. Jason had pursued her, exploiting her boredom. But her laughter echoed in my mind, fueling the fire. I hit send, a rush of adrenaline surging through me like electricity. Home that evening felt like a battlefield, tension thick as fog. Sarah greeted me warily, her eyes red-rimmed, makeup smudged. "Can we talk? Really talk?" We sat at the kitchen table, wood scarred from years of meals, a half-eaten pizza cooling between us. The fluorescent light hummed overhead, casting harsh shadows. "I don't know if there's anything left to say," I replied, voice flat, masking the storm inside. "Please, Mark. It was a mistake. Jason means nothing. I love you." Her words trembled, hands twisting in her lap. Love. The word twisted the knife. "Then why?" I demanded, leaning forward, the chair creaking. She hesitated, gaze dropping. "I felt invisible. You were always coding, always distant. He made me feel seen. Guilt pierced me, had I neglected her? But obsession overrode it. So you betray me. Humiliate me." "I'm sorry," she sobbed, reaching across the table. I let her hand linger on mine, skin warm, stirring conflicted desire. Part of me wanted to forgive, to rebuild. But the plan was in motion. Pulling back now would mean surrender. That night, as rain resumed its assault on the roof, drumming a relentless rhythm, I monitored my anonymous inbox. No response yet, but seeds were planted. Suspense built slowly, each day a tightening coil. At work, I overheard her on the phone, voice strained, arguing with someone. Jason. Char. I feigned concern when she came home pale, slamming doors. Rough day? I asked, chopping vegetables, the knife's thud echoing my pulse. You have no idea, she muttered, pouring wine with shaky hands. Office drama. Someone's stirring shit. Innocent eyes met hers. About what? She waved it off. Nothing. Just rumors. The lie hung heavy, heightening tension. Inner conflict raged. Satisfaction at her unease warred with remorse. Was I enjoying this too much? Becoming obsessive? But fantasies sustained me. Her isolation, her regret. Days turned to weeks, the house a pressure cooker. Subtle hints emerged. Her whispered calls in the bathroom, water running to mask words. Deleted emails I recovered from trash. HR had investigated, warnings issued. Jason transferred departments. She confided piecemeal, testing waters. Works hell. Anonymous tip about me and Jason. Feigned shock. What? That's awful. Her suspicion flickered, but denial blinded her. Yeah. Who would do that? Me, I thought, cold resolve stealing me. But moral grayness deepened. Revenge tasted bittersweet. Friends noticed our strain. Dinner invites declined, awkward silences at gatherings. One night, at a neighborhood barbecue, smoke from the grill curling like secrets, a mutual friend pulled me aside. Everything okay with you two? Sarah seems off. Fine, I lied, beer bottle sweating in my hand. But inside, doubt swelled. Was this justice or destruction? Escalation came unexpectedly. She confronted me in our study, bookshelves looming like judges, lamp casting a warm glow that belied the chill. It was you, wasn't it? The email to HR. My heart skipped, but I met her gaze steadily. What are you talking about? Don't lie. She thrust her phone at me. Screenshots of my drafts, somehow recovered. Panic surged. How? I'd been careful. Sarah, You spied on me, sabotaged my job. Tears streamed, voice breaking. Why? Because you destroyed us. Rage erupted, suppressed no longer. That photo, the affair. You laughed in my face. It wasn't an affair. Just flirting, drinks. I stopped before it went further. The revelation stunned me. Not full betrayal. Doubt crashed in, guilt overwhelming. But the messages. Stupid, yes. But I chose you. Her words pierced, revealing my overreach. Obsession twisted into regret. I'd assumed the worst, let humiliation blind me. Now her career teetered. Promotion denied, whispers following her. I'm sorry, I whispered, reaching for her. But she recoiled, eyes hardening. No. You wanted revenge. You got it. But so will I. The threat hung, suspense peaking. What did she mean? That night, sleep evaded me, her words echoing. Morning brought the twist. Police at the door, badges glinting in sunlight. Mark Thompson. You're under arrest for cyber harassment. Chuck jolted me. What? Sarah stood behind them, face a mask of cold triumph. I traced the emails. You used our home IP. Handcuffs clicked, cold metal biting my wrists. As they led me away, her voice followed. You warned me about the photo. I warned you about crossing me. In the squad car, rain streaking windows, realization dawned. Her flirting was bait, testing my jealousy. She'd planted messages, anticipated my reaction, turned my revenge against me. Poetic justice. My obsession her weapon. Heartbreak mingled with admiration. She'd outplayed me. The pursuit ended not in victory, but consequences, leaving me in a cell of my own making, pondering the gray line between victim and villain.